Ladies and gents, you beautiful people, I hope you all are having an amazing, beautiful day as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 in 2021 and if it's worth trying out as a new player or if it's worth coming back to the game if you have taken a long break. We're going to talk about the free version of the game and we will go over all the expansions that are actually worth getting. So if you do enjoy the video, and only if you do, a like and a sub really does help me out a lot and is very, very appreciated. It only takes a second and truly does help the channel out a lot. And don't forget the bell notification button so you don't miss the upcoming beautiful build videos, badass PvP gameplays, and more. I also stream on YouTube, so make sure to hop in, ladies and gents, so you can check out how we pierce some skulls with beautiful void arrows, and above all, just have a great time on the stream. So first, let's talk about the free-to-play version of the game. Let's go over the experience of a completely new player in 2021. Just a few months ago, with the launch of Beyond Light, huge changes happened in Destiny 2. A lot of the content was sunset, which means that they were pretty much taken out of the game. This includes planets, missions, story quests, and so on. If you are a free-to-play player, as you download the game, you will end up starting in the Cosmodrome area, which is pretty much the same area you started in Destiny 1. You will have a new NPC guiding the way and a new quest line to follow to get introduced to what's happening in Destiny 2. And as you finish the quest line, you will end up in the tower, which is the social space of the game. Now, till this point, everything is fine. It's pretty simple, just follow the main quest line and you're good. However, after you finish this quest, this is where it can get confusing for new players. It doesn't really tell you what to do next or where to go and so on. So first, I'm going to tell you what you can do as a free-to-play player, and then let's talk about cons and pros that comes with all of this. So you will be able to do the strikes, which is a PvE activity that has matchmaking, pretty much small missions you can do with other people. Then you have Gambit, which is a PvE PvP activity that also has matchmaking. And finally, you have the Crucible, which is the PvP activity. These are the three main activities you should and can do to quickly get higher level gear, especially strikes. If you keep running them, you will be getting higher gear from the final chest, but you can definitely gear up from Crucible or Gambit also. I just feel like for a new player, strikes would be a more chill and relaxed starting point. You can just run around and get used to the mechanics and get a better feel for the game. Now let's talk about the cons before we talk about the pros. So if you're a player that loves storytelling and wants to understand what's happening in Destiny 2 on a deeper level, I feel like that's when the problems occur. The thing is, before Beyond Light, you could run through the first mission and then go back to an NPC, which would offer you to redo the story missions of the previous expansions, starting all the way from the Red War, which was the starting point of Destiny 2. And then you could redo the story missions from the other expansions, and that way you were caught up with the story. Now, because all the planets and content from back then was sunset, that is not possible anymore, and it can be confusing to understand what the hell is going on in the Destiny 2's universe. If you're interested in the storylines, here are the names of the expansions they took out in case you want to look them up to get a better idea on how the story developed. Check them out in this order: the Red War, Curse of Osiris, and the Warmind. I really hope that Bungie fixes this and finds a way to introduce the story to the players a bit better so people don't feel lost, because Destiny 2 has a huge universe. Something like a cool cutscene explaining everything that happened really quickly would help to give people an idea of what's going on. So let's hope that happens soon. Now let's talk about the pros of playing Destiny 2 in 2021 as a new player. Guys, I truly think that this game has so much to offer for new players. Tons of content that can be even overwhelming at times. So many exotic armor and weapons to chase, awesome missions, and overall, this game can easily become one of your favorite games when you first jump into Destiny 2. So honestly, I would suggest trying the free version. And if you enjoy it, then go ahead and grab the expansions, which I will talk about in more detail in a minute. This game has some of the coolest gunplay I have ever experienced in a looter shooter, and the endgame activities such as the raids are on a completely different level. I mean, when you are new to this game and you do the raids for the first time, ladies and gents, you are gonna be pleasantly surprised by the quality of the content you're gonna get. It's a totally different experience from other looter shooters. The boss fights are intense and unique, the loot is also very good, and even before you get to the endgame, you will have tons of loot to chase. So content-wise, there is more than enough to do for a new player. So all of you that are watching this video and are thinking to try out the game, go for it. At the end of the day, a big part of it is free. You literally have nothing to lose, and it might end up being one of your favorite games of all time. Now let's talk about the expansions that are worth getting, both if you are a story-driven player or you simply want more content. So we have 3 expansions in this order: Forsaken, Shadowkeep, and Beyond Light. So Forsaken comes with new subclasses for your characters, which includes new abilities and new supers. So if you fully want to unlock all the supers and abilities of the light subclasses, this is the expansion you want to get. But that is not the only reason. This expansion has probably one of the best storylines in the game. You also get more exotic armor and weapons, some awesome missions, beautiful locations, and more. So if you want to experience a really cool story and truly enjoy the game, and as mentioned, on top of all of this, you want to fully unlock the light classes, this is the expansion you want to get. It also comes with a currently active endgame activity, the Last Wish Raid. For those that don't know, raids are pretty much the hardest activity that comes with any expansion. However, at the moment, not many people do the specific Last Wish raid, as we do have other new raids, but it still has a very cool exotic weapon as a reward from the final boss if you do get lucky, and it's truly one of the best raids in Destiny's history in my humble opinion. And even though I say not many people do it, that's just compared to the new raid. So yes, it is absolutely possible to complete this raid if you so choose, but keep in mind that raids do not have matchmaking, so you will have to find people to run with on LFG websites, such as Bungie's Fireteam website, for example. The second expansion is Shadowkeep, which unlocks the Moon. Now, we did have the Moon active in Destiny 1, but it was taken out in Destiny 2, and with Shadowkeep, they brought it back. It also includes story missions, some exotics, but does not have any new classes for your characters. And of course, it also comes with a raid, the Garden of Salvation. We have more people playing the Beyond Light raid, as it is the pinnacle raid at the moment, but that said, you can always find people that are running this endgame activity as well. We also have strikes and new PvP map, but for Shadowkeep, there isn't anything crazy, unless of course you want to experience the story, which is really nice. At least I enjoyed it a lot, and it kinda introduces you to the darkness, so that's cool. But as mentioned, do keep in mind that Shadowkeep does not come with any new classes or subclasses. And the third and the latest expansion is Beyond Light. Now this one brings you a completely new darkness class for every character. These are very different from the light classes and also very powerful in many ways, as they give you abilities that no light classes can offer, such as freezing, for example, which can be extremely strong. It comes with story missions, a strike, some new exotics, and of course its own raid for endgame. Very important thing to keep in mind is that since Beyond Light is the latest expansion, it is definitely the best way to increase your power level easier and faster. So which one should you get first? Well, if you want to be up to date, of course Beyond Light would be the one to get, and the fact that it comes with very cool and strong completely new classes is a huge factor. Is the story as good as Forsaken? No. Is there as much loot as there was in Forsaken? No. But as mentioned, if you want to be up to date with the newest and the most useful activities to get higher power level faster and easier, then yes, Beyond Light is the one you want to get, and I personally would suggest starting with Beyond Light. Next, I would definitely get Forsaken to complete the beautiful story and unlock some awesome light supers on all characters. Some of these light supers are very strong in PvE. For example, the Warlock Middle Tree Solar subclass is perfect for boss DPS phases and for supporting your team in general. And as you finish the story of Forsaken, you will be caught up on a lot of events that are happening in D2. So once again, if you enjoy storytelling, then Forsaken is the one you want to get after Beyond Light. And finally, you have Shadowkeep, that at this point, apart from some cool exotics, doesn't offer any new subclasses like the other two expansions do. So I would definitely get this last if you're choosing from these three. But what if you are a returning player that has everything in the game all the way up until Beyond Light? You're experienced, you know how the leveling works, you've been burned out on the game already and took a break for a few months. Well, then the only reason you would want to come back is the new subclasses at this point, and of course a few new exotics that are really cool, and the new raid that has become one of my favorite raids of all time. But after you get these exotics and you experience the raid, you will find yourself running the same activities you did before Beyond Light, Strikes, Crucible, and so on. There isn't really no new game mode or something that a experienced returning player would be surprised by and be like, oh my god, this feels so unique. Unfortunately, there are no new game modes at all. So after you run through the main new content, which will take you probably a week or maybe a few days if you play a lot, after that you will be doing the same old as mentioned, which is a problem that the game has for experienced returning players or players such as myself who have pretty much done everything in the game and don't have any new modes at endgame. But for me, that's when Crucible jumps in and saves the day, as I do really love PvP. So if you're thinking about coming back to the game, keep all of this in mind. However, for new players, there is tons and tons of content. Overall, I feel like D2 is an amazing game, and especially if you're just thinking about jumping into the universe, it can offer you some beautiful memories and amazing experiences. So once again, if 2021 is gonna be the first time you jump into Destiny 2, I really think you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope I managed to answer some of your questions. If you have more of them, make sure to drop them in the comment section. I go through all of them every day and will be answering as many as I physically can. Keep in mind, we got some more beautiful content on the way. If you did enjoy the video, and only if you did, a like and a sub is very appreciated, ladies and gents, and helps out the channel a lot. Thank you once again for all the amazing support. I appreciate every single one of you, and as always, have a crazy beautiful day.